Look, there's one thing what flashing teaches you when projecting isn't an option. I'm currently injured, so I had to change how I train, not whether I train. And after hurting my thumb, I stopped completely. 10 days, you know the drill, nothing. It itches you, but that's actually the easy part, rest. But you know what isn't? Coming back. That's the hard part. And you ask why? Because you set your nervous system to be anxious. Literally, as if the terrifier would stand right in front of you. Look, the first sessions back aren't about sending. They're about listening, guys. What feels right and what doesn't. And at this point, you need to decide, are you projecting or are you flashing? Normally, I wouldn't think about it, and you probably neither. All we two would think about is that higher grade send with the crazy moves and all that jazz that is fun. But right now, there's a decision to make. Projecting needs repetition, and repetition needs trust. And I don't have that trust yet. So why flashing then? Well, flashing forces you to decide, not twice, once. This isn't about climbing easier, it's about staying honest. Think about it. The plan didn't stop. I just had to re-anchor it and train accordingly. So, if you're injured, rest. That's the non-negotiable. But your plan doesn't have to stop at that point. It has to adapt. And maybe, only maybe, if it clicks, you will learn something you wouldn't have learned otherwise. So,
let's hop into the climbs of last week.
This was a 5 in our local gym, Element Boulders. And it's actually a pretty fun climb because you got to twist your body, take this little nice feet, but the hands are kind of slopey jugs. They're not very deep, but you got to engage your whole core just to have a good position and a good tension to move upwards. Okay. So this was pretty chill to find the right position to not fall out of the pockets because I just can't use this thumb. It was actually a little tricky one because everything from the start felt pretty good, pretty stable, and then you move upwards, you feel the positions, everything's fine. And then there's this one point where I felt something's off. Couldn't find the right position for the feet to get the top hold on a secure position. So I tried this heel hook, lock it in, and it doesn't feel good. Simply doesn't feel good. So what I did instead was, okay, forget the hook, move out, position myself more towards the end hold and switch feet completely. Come on. Yeah, well, this was the part where I said, now this works, but at the moment I had to focus to realign myself with all that. Also, the next one is a fun climb. Okay, forget about the camera movement. This is a little bit off. But I just want to show you how these holds are actually made, like slopey, not well placed, so it's an easy route. But you got to think about positioning yourself. And I wanted to try something where I don't have to engage my thumb at all. So I tried a lot of turning my whole body in the position of a drop knee, trying down there for the feet like a bicycle clamp, which I never did before on a slab line. And then moving slowly upwards. And this part why it takes so long is because the upper hold is like a downturn sloper, and I would normally go into it with a gust on and press with my thumb. But this is the finger I can't use. So I had to find a way, moving around that, turning my body, opening fully up to get that in this cross position to finally top with the last hold. This is the third climb. I'm just gonna make it short. It's a crimpy route, and it's just the start that feels a little bit difficultish. If I don't mistaken, this was like I think a 4 or a 5, can't remember right now. And what changed the whole route for me is actually the start. Instead of going this way into the crimp position, you just take it like an undercling and pull from your biceps. You got way more tension. So what I learned in this case is if you want to take a crimp which is too hard to pull like this, you just engage more from your biceps. Always works great for me. Rose moves are such a cool move, coming under your shoulder, pushing out, turning the full way. I just love it. I just simply just love it. I had to do this one. And this is a 6 because the rose move is positioned a little bit awkwardly because you're starting in a 3-finger pocket because the crimp hold, or I'd say It's not a crimp hold actually. It's like the block jug, a small block jug. You just got 3 fingers, but if your fingers are fat, you can't go in there, you know? Funny thing about me, I like to give gym climbs also names like it was an outdoor climb, just to make it a little bit more fun. So if you're also interested in doing that, I'd love to see climbs of you guys giving them names and what is the intention for giving which name and everything like that. So Moria is actually the first climb I did after I retrusted my finger to be able to hold myself on a wall. And this route is full on crimps, and about just having the right position to fall perfectly into the crimp. And I felt so much tension in my thumb at the beginning that I had to readjust my positioning. This is what I learned. You don't need for every climb your thumb. We use every finger, I think 20% more than we need on the climbs we can flash, just because we're not paying a lot of attention to how we should position ourselves and use our fingers properly. That's like why you also do overgripping and stuff. This climb is called Erebor from Lord of the Rings, and you can see they're really little crimps, they're slopey crimps. Then you got to do a big move to jump out. So I chalk up, walk to the climb, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this a little bit differently. Can I do like a campus move to the first big hold, followed by a bump out to a toe hook, to get a proper position, and all that by not using the thumb, like to compress everything just by the hands, move upwards, compress the whole ledge from that slopey part at the top where this little crimp is, and then finish off with a bicycle. I really love this one. Danke. Lock in, and until the next time, Crocs on Sunday.